Come, Nerevar, come. Welcome to Dagoth's Count Countdown. Today we will be going over the counts of Cyrodiil. I am counting on you to honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned. I spent countless hours researching these Enwas. Without further ado, let the countdown begin. The first count I want to start with is the count of Skingrad.
Exciting! I could forever!
No, not that Enwa. Ah yes, the Count of Skingrad, Janus Hasildor. He is a very reclusive and shady mongrel dog of the Empire Enwa. Why did the people of Skingrad appoint a literal vampire as their count? Seriously, this is not Sesame Street. He likes being a vampire, while his wife refuses to drink blood and is in a coma. In any case, he asks you to find a cure for vampirism for his wife, Rona. Ironic name in retrospect. And so that she could find peace. Basically, you work with a Glenmoral witch named Melisande to concoct the mixture and then administer it to Rona, who perishes. It does not make any sense to deal with your wife like that. But sure, Mr. Vampire, I guess that's your prerogative. He also knows that Manimarco, the Worm King, has returned. In general, this count is one shady figure with countless secrets. The second count I want to take into account is the Grey Fox himself, the Count of Anvil. Count Umbranox, the mongrel dog of the Empire, is absent for most of the game. He is, of course, after accepting the cowl of Nocturnal, becomes the Grey Fox. Only by using an Elder Scroll is he able to transfer the ownership of the cowl to the hero of Kvach and restore his identity. The Enwa gets reunited with his wife, Countess Milona Umbranox. Generally, they have no idea what is happening in their city. What a grand and intoxicating innocence. The next count you encounter is the Count of Breville, Regulus Terentius. Why is his name Regulus if he cannot regulate his son's skooma intake? Gellius Terentius drinks skooma on hours on end. This Enwa is the only non-essential count in Cyrodiil, and I am not surprised. This Enwa is the count of the most dysfunctional city in Cyrodiil that is plagued with a skooma epidemic. The city is more dysfunctional than your marriage with Almalexia, Nerevar. In any case, since he is non-essential, I believe that to honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned, you must do what you must do.
Lord Dagoth, I beg of thou, enough with thine count puns. They art insufferable. If thou continue with thine tasteless humour, I shall leave thine presence at once, this time permanently.
What a fool you are! I am a god! How can you stop a god from making puns? My sleepers, prove to Rani that I am a punny god by writing on the parchment down below. We love your puns, Lord Dagoth.
Is that so? Thou refuseth to listeneth to my opinion? That couples therapy session with Uncle Crassius did not worketh then? I shall take my leave.
Good riddance. You will be back begging me to forgive you again. Where were we? Ah yes, counts. The Count of Kvach or Melius Goldwine is a... never mind, Nerevar. He doesn't count. Literally, he doesn't count because he has a case of Daedric ouchies. Let me say a few words in his memory. Never mind, Nerevar. I have nothing to say. Then you have the Count of Leyawiin, Count Marius Caro. He is the leader of the Knights of the White Stallion, and a busybody interfering in the affairs of black bow bandits. You can bring him countless of bows, and he'll pay you 100 gold for them. He is also suspicious of an orc named Mazoga, who is in his court. If, for some reason, you fail to help Mazoga, he will start reprimanding you for your incompetence. Since when was it the job of the hero of Kvach to take care of some incompetent orc that charges into battle without evaluating the odds? Seriously, what do you expect from a city that's between two farm tool provinces? Countess Narina Carvain is a peculiar character. She is a weeb for all things Akaviri. She is collecting Akaviri artifacts faster than an otaku Enwa collects figurines, so much so that she sends the hero of Kvach to the Pale Pass to recover a rare artifact known as the Draconian Madstone. Seriously, she has more pressing problems to deal with, like the massive battle outside her city that has the potential to turn Bruma into a Kvach sequel. She really needs to get her priorities straight. Ariana Valga is the Countess of Chorrol, the most boring city in Cyrodiil, and I've got to tell you, Nerevar, she is indeed very boring old and is very concerned about finding an art thief. She is counting on the hero of Kvach to help her find a supposedly priceless painting. I mean, if you could call her mongrel dog of the Empire husband a piece of art, then I would have gone to art school instead of becoming the leader of the sixth house and the Sharmat. But no, they did not accept me. In any case, it was one of her courtiers named Chanel. You can either side with the Countess or Chanel. I would just side with Chanel instead, Nerevar. Look on the bright side. You get to play Danganronpa in Oblivion. Isn't that nice, Nerevar? You get someone to take accountability. You get to gather evidence and accuse people. Isn't that what the false gods of the tribunal did? Finally, we get to Chadinil's count, Andel Indaris. Now, I have a very controversial opinion on this, but hear me out. The requirement for me to remotely like you is for you to be a Dunmer. That's step one. The second step is not to be an Enwa. And the third step is not to associate with the mongrel dogs of the Empire. Andel Indaris only meets one of those requirements, in that he's a Dunmer. Otherwise, he is a part of the mongrel dog's house Hlalu. And because he lived in Cyrodiil for so long, he is an Enwa. Also, he has this absolute swit for a son. Farwell Indaris is such a disgrace to us, Dunmer, that I wish Azura turned him back into a Chimer so we could claim that he is an Altmer and disown him. That whole Knights of the Thorn Order he is running is an absolute joke. It reflects horribly on Count Indaris. The hero of Kvach should have just let him perish in the Oblivion Gates. Generally, I commend him for being the only non-imperial count in Cyrodiil, and for being a Dunmer. But honestly, everything else about him does not honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned. But if he declared loyalty to me all of a sudden, I would support him. Oh, did you think I forgot the two Enwas from the Shivering Isles? Do you think they don't count because they are dukes and not counts? You guessed wrong. You can duke it out on the parchment below. Speaking of which, this is a good time to remind you to honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned. The Duke of Mania is a Bosmer named Thandon, who is one of the few Bosmer in a position of power. Ever since the adoring Fan and Fargoth, the Wood Elves were meant to be simps until the end of eternity. However, Sheogorath made him into a full-on Duke of Mania, because Sheogorath is mad enough to put a Bosmer in a position of power. He has a goofy-looking helmet that is surprisingly very powerful called the Diadem of Euphoria. It almost looks like something Hermaeus Mora would make. The Golden Saints are loyal to him after, of course, Sheogorath himself. In any case, to take his place, the hero of Kvach has to give him some, maybe too much green mote. Sheogorath finds him to be disposable, so when you take his place, not many tears are shed for the Bosmer. Syl, the Duchess of Dementia, is also a Bosmer. Once again, I have not seen many of them in positions of power outside of Valenwood, so it is an impressive feat. Syl is extremely high-strung and paranoid about everyone around her. She even has a specialized chamber for shocking interrogations. Considering the fact that she literally gets annihilated by the hero of Kvach, she had a point in being paranoid. She does send the hero of Kvach for a wild goose chase, after all. You have to fight quite a lot of dark seducers to finally get to her and put an end to her existence. Seriously, she is one of the most insufferable sub-leaders in this game. There is a rumor that Theoden and Syl are secretly having an affair, but rumors are rumors. Although the Shivering Isles is very unpredictable, you never know what is real and what is not. This is it for this sermon, Nerevar. Hopefully at some point, we can go over the Enwa Jarls of Skyrim. Don't forget to honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned.